Good evening everyone and welcome to the Invictus Racing League, the Realistic Performance League. I am your host for tonight, which is Malc, and with me as always is Tim. How you doing, mate? You alright?
How you doing, Malc? I'm excited. This is unfortunately the final race of the season, but we're kicking it off at a high note because it is Monaco, the first Monaco race that I have had the pleasure to call for Invictus Racing League, and let's make it a good one tonight.
Absolutely, absolutely, and you are rightly so there. Monaco is one of the famous tracks in all the F1 heritage, as you always say as well. But with this, this is the 111th race that we have done at the Realistic Performance League, and I cannot wait for it tonight. I can't believe this is the last race of the season. If you just joined for the last race of the season, the championships have all been decided here because of the drivers have been sorted from Samu, who did a brilliant drive this season. And also with Samu and Nigel Gash with their team of Nitro Papito confirming with the constructors here as well. So well done to them guys here. But not only that as well, we also got the what was it now? We got plenty of positions here we still need to be sorted out here, Tim, because we've got Luke Bailey, Nigel Gash, Scott, Charlie and possibly Rymac to shoot out for the top three, well, third place as well. So what do you think about that, this from tonight's race at Monaco?
Well, I think that at this point it's all about bragging rights for these guys because, as you rightly said, with the championship already being decided, that's all that those guys can get today. Luke Bailey, he has been strong all year, or all season rather. He has not had a win. His best finish is actually a second place, and that was at the German Grand Prix. But nonetheless, he's been fairly consistent enough to hold on to the third spot in the championship for quite a while. Of course, Nitro Gash is only 1 point behind him. Nitro Gash's only win this season coming at the Japanese Grand Prix, the first race of the season, and he's only had one other podium since then to show for it, that one being in Canada. So these two drivers being very consistent. I think it's going to be a good race between the two because you know that they're wanting that final spot on the championship podium.
Absolutely, and you want to try and do it at the famous track of Monaco as well, and let's see if they can try and capitalise on it as well. But we've not heard anything from, obviously we've not heard anything yet of the weather crew, and the qualifying's just started now. With everything going on here for the last race itself, what's your expectations here for tonight here, Tim? What do you think is going to happen here? Because we know that Samu's already done the championship. He's done that anyway. But would you expect a shock here tonight at Monaco?
I would. Really, I think that a lot of these guys are going to go for broke here because this is the final race of the season. We're not going to have another season for about a month or so. So this is the last time that these drivers are going to be able to fight for a win, at least, for the next few weeks. So, they definitely want to end on a high note. They want to say, hey, I got that win. I got that final win. I won Monaco. And so they're going to try it tonight because if you think about it, they don't really have that much to lose. They might lose a position in the championship, like if Luke Bailey were to wreck out or something, he definitely would not get third. But other than that, they really don't have a lot to lose here because it is the final race. So you can afford yourself the luxury of making just a few more not mistakes, but risking those mistakes to try to win.
Absolutely, and with everything going on here as well, obviously we've been told as well that the ghosting, when we say ghosting, is back on at Monaco. So, but they still have to be careful here at the Monaco Grand Prix here, wherever happens here, because the concentration level is sky high. Because especially when you're going through so many corners here as well. If you don't get it spot on here, you will lose out massively, and I will say this massively here. So we're just watching Simon Palmer doing his lapping now. We've got yellow flags on sector 2 now, but we might do his qualifying lap in a moment or two. So we'll just try and get that loaded up now. And he's coming down the straight here for his proper qualifying lap now. Passing into turn 1 now at De Facto corner, and then we come up to which is Bear Rivage corner. and then coming up to which is Massenet corner, and then coming up to passing the casino part there, and then down the straight here as well, Mirabal corner here at turn 5 now, and then coming up to the Grand Hotel here, which is at turn 6 here, and then to turn 7 which is Mirabal Bass as well, and then we've got a Portier corner as well, where we had the famous races there back in the 80s, all there as well. Passing to the tunnel part here now, and then coming to the end of the second sector in a Mountain 2. We're passing the chicane part here at the Nouvelle chicane, and then coming to Tabac corner now, and then coming up to which is Piscinet corner, which is passing the swimming pool as well. Passing turn 15, 16, and then into 17, then 18 now, with La Raxet corner, and Anthony Noquez corner at turn 19 as well. So that is 19 turns at the Monaco Grand Prix, and the time to beat is a 1 minute 10.999 or 998 as it says there on the grid there as well here, Tim. So that's a good lap there from Simon Palmer, but I believe Roy Boy's just beat that by 5 tenths there, Tim.
That he has a 1:10.488 for Roy Boy, so a really good time already for him. Currently, I'm riding on board with Cryptox in the Haas as he goes through the tunnel. Cryptox not setting a time just yet, but so far looking fairly decent as he goes through the chicane. Samu Papaito, our championship winner, has now rocketed up to the second place with a 1:10.770.
It's carrying on where they left off here. Same as Scope here in the top 3 here. So let's see what the guys can try and do. A yellow flag set to 2. A yellow flag set to 2. So I think that might be one of the I think that might be Meg trying to let some of the drivers here through. So let's see what Cryptox can do here. And he does a 1 minute 13.277 in the Haas car. Tim.
Yeah, and he's going to definitely want a little bit better than that if he wants a challenge for this win. But it's still early on in the qualifying session. It's still very young. Taking a look at Ferocious Dan now. However, he is already set a lap. His lap is a 1:12.234. So we're going to go take a look at FPL Charlie, who you said might actually have a chance at third place in points tonight.
I believe so. Obviously, with the point situation here, Luke Bailey is currently in third with 154 points, which, I mean, it's a mammoth task to try and beat Scope on track here to get second place. But Luke Bailey in third with 154 points. Nigel Gash is in fourth with 153 points. Scott Bugner is in fifth with 149 points. So there's a 5-point gap between those three. And then Charlie is in sixth with 138 points. So obviously the maximum that he can get here, if he can get pole position, the win and the fastest lap, which would be 28 points. So at total it would be 166. So as long as he can get a good mammoth of this, it might have a slight chance of getting third place here. But looking at those drivers there, those are the ones that we're concentrating on the most. Luke Bailey, Nigel Gash, Scott, Charlie, and again an outside as well of Roy Mack as well. So what do you think could happen? Do you think Luke Bailey will clinch third, or do you think there'll be a shock, Tim?
It's going to be very close between Luke Bailey and Nitro Gash. I do believe that it's going to be down to those two drivers. However, I really can't say which one I think is going to be able to clinch, because the drivers, they've just been so very consistent with each other throughout the season. Nitro Gash has 2 podiums. Luke Bailey has 1. Nitro Gash has a win, as one of those podiums, where Luke Bailey does not, but Luke Bailey's still ahead in points because he's been just a little bit more consistent than Nitro Gash when it's counted. He's been able to pick up a few more points here and there. So I do believe that the third place is going to come down to only those 2 drivers. But as far as which one's going to win out, it is anybody's guess.
Absolutely. It's a tough call here, but it all depends on who can survive at the Monaco Grand Prix here. Who will drive to survive on this famous track here, the casino part there. We're just watching from Charlie, who did a 1:11 flat there. So fair play to him on that one. Good evening everyone that's joined this session here. I hope you enjoy for the last race of the season here at the Invictus Racing League, the Realistic Performance League at the Monaco Grand Prix here. So there's quite a few drivers. I mean, Roy Boy's still in first, Samu's in second, Scope is in third, Simon Palmer's in fourth, Charlie's in fifth, Scott Bugner is in sixth, Meg is in seventh, Roy Mack is in eighth, Luke Bailey's in ninth, Lozak is in 10th, Energy Dan is in 11th, Ferocious Dan is in 12th, Cryptox is in 13th, O'Stevens in 14th, Nigel Gash, who I'm just going to go to see right now, in 15th place. And Spud in 16th place with Nigel Gash and Spud are the only ones who have not done a time at all yet as well. Tim?
Currently, I'm watching Nitro Gash, trying to see what kind of lap time he can set around this circuit. As we were talking about the point standings, it's going to be something important to watch to see where these drivers can line up, because as you know with Monaco, it's not exactly the easiest place to make a pass for a position. So qualifying position is key here, arguably more so than any other track, just because it's so hard to make a position. So, you know, if you start first, then all you got to do is try to hold off everyone behind you. If you start second or third or fourth, then you've got to pass a few cars if you want to try to get the first. But if you start all the way back in 10th, 11th, 12th, or 15th, somewhere around there, you have so many cars to try to pass, and it's not easy on any circuit, especially Monaco. Nitro Gash has just finished his lap, though, a 1:12.126. So that's good enough for the 12th position right now, and he's going to definitely want to get a little bit faster than that.
Absolutely, but I've just confirmed there as we was watching. Oh my days, Nigel Gash has just hit the wall there. Lost a bit of a front wing damage there as well. So he will try. Luckily, he did this lap there earlier on. There, I'm just watching Energy down. He's got 2/10 quicker on his best time there in the second sector here. Rymac, he had a 5-place grid penalty for illegal blocking, as we've seen while you was chatting away there, Tim. So I'm not sure exactly what happened from Rymac's point of view, but that's not good news from his side there to try and get at least some decent points here to finish off high in the points for the Drivers' Championship here. Well, the Drivers' Championship table, as we say here, Tim.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard for him to recover from that. Right now, as he's running in 9th, if the qualifying session were to end, that would put him starting in the 14th position, and that's definitely not where he wants to be. So if he could get the pole, then he could at least be knocked down to only 5th, but it's going to be a big ask for him to recover from that.
Absolutely. It'll be a mammoth task, but let's see what he can try to do. He's got a 10th quicker, so he's purple on the first sector. From what we've seen here, we've got yellow flags on sector 2, so I'm not sure what's happened there. That's one of the Mercs. That might be Energy Dan, so it's just letting Rymac through, passing through the tunnel part there as well. From the Portier part there, and then coming up to, which is the famous Nouvelle chicane part here as well, and then coming to Tabac corner there as well. So many famous corners here, and passing the swimming pool section there as well. Oh, Rymac's hit a little bit on the wall there, so that might compromise. Oof. Hit. Yeah, I kind of guess he, because of that front wing damage there, went too far into the wall there, so unfortunately he's going to have to go back in and into the pits there as well. So Tim, who are you watching so far?
Looking at Meg Luckby, who's on his outlap. However, he is just now approaching the hairpin corner, so going to go try to find a driver who is on their flying lap. It looks like Ferocious Dan, who, never mind, he's just pulling into the pits. So FPL Charlie is on his flying lap going through the chicane now. So FPL Charlie, his current best time is a 1:11.050, good enough for 6th place. He's going to try to improve on that here as he exits Sector 2 and entering Sector 3 now. Just a few more corners to go, and then he gets to go down that long straightaway to try to get the pole position. Running in 6th, though, right now as he goes underneath the Rolex banner. As he crosses the line, Charlie will wind up in 2nd, a 1:10.526 for FPL Charlie.
That's a good start there from Charlie. He needs to find another 10th here to try and get those 2 extra points to stand any chance. I mean, as long as he tries to get a lot of points better off than Luke Bailey, but unfortunately, obviously, this is only the qualifying situation, so anything can happen here tonight. But fair play to him. Charlie has done well. Like I said, he's had a win. He's had 2 seconds and 1/3 out of 7 races he has participated before tonight's race. So that's impressive stuff there, Tim.
It is, and with him being an F1 driver normally, I'm sure that he's used to the really close action, and he just overshoots the chicane that time coming out of the tunnel. So definitely invalidated his lap that time, but lucky for him, a 1:10.5 is still good enough for 2nd, and he set that a lap before. I think at this point he's just trying to get back to the pits quicker. Absolutely,
he's trying to get to the pits quicker, because we've got 6 minutes left here. 6 minutes left of the final race for the 111th race for the Realistic Performance League. The 4th time we have raced at Monaco. 4th time as well. I think the last time we have raced at Monaco was back in Season 8, I believe. I'll have to get that confirmed, but I believe that might be Season 8. So it's like a few seasons ago as well. So that was like last year, I believe. So, mammoth stuff to remember here at Monaco Grand Prix here. But if you can nail it and try and keep it consistency and without any wing damage here, you might do well here tonight. And I'm sure that they'll do all right here. I'm just watching Simon Palmer doing his lap here now. I think he's just had a bit of a mistake in his one lap there. So, but have you heard anything from the weather crew here, Tim?
I have not yet.
Okay. We've had some confirmation here, Tim. So, obviously the qualifying is dry. So, we've been confirmed there'll be a light cloud, but it'll be all dry. So, light cloud, all dry here for the qualifying and the race here tonight. So that surely that will be good news here for the guys tonight at Monaco, Tim.
Could you imagine the chaos if it were just to be a heavy rain during the Monaco race?
Chaos, madness. It would be like another repeat of Singapore again. To be fair, that would be the same. It would be exactly the same. But I'm sure the guys are relieved that it's a dry race. But at the same time, for a neutral perspective, I would have liked to have seen who would have survived in the wet at Monaco as well. So, see what happens here as well. So, 1 minute 10.9 from Simon Palmer. Is there anyone you're watching so far, Tim?
Just watching Scott Bunger, but he's already set a lap, so he's probably just going to try to make it back to the pits. But so far, his best time is good enough for 5th with a 1:10.836. So, fairly decent time from Scott Bunger. Roy Boy, though, is still up the top of the board with a 1:10.488. He just set another lap last time, but I don't believe he improved on his original pole lap.
No, I think he's slowed down on the second sector here. No, he's going back. He's teasing us, Tim. He's absolutely teasing us. Backing into the pits there, Roy Boy. So he knows his time is not safe. His time is not safe in pole position here. But let's see who can try and capitalise on it as well. Let's look at Energy Dan. No. Who we have not mentioned about this tonight here. Obviously, Spud has not raced here. Yeah, Meg Luppe. So Meg Luppe is going to do his under a 10th quicker, 700 quicker. Good evening to Spud. How you doing, mate? You alright? He says it's a dry, lads. Yes, we have confirmed it's a light cloud dry on there, Spud. But thank you very much for reminding us on that. So what do you think is going to happen here tonight, here, Tim? With 2 minutes 43 left of the qualifying here, will there be a shock? Will Samu keep that momentum going from winning the title last week to get pole position here tonight?
We'll have to see. Samu is the only driver, in addition to Scopefilter, to have multiple wins in the season. Scopefilter, of course, with 2 wins. Samu with 4 wins. So this would make number 5 if he were to be able to win tonight. Scopefilter, he was trying to go for a fast lap, but he hasn't validated his lap, so he's not going to be able to set a time this lap. However, he is slowing down, going to try to go for another one here. So he looked like he was on course for a pretty decent lap before then. Not sure what happened. It must have just been a little bit of a corner cut.
Yeah, could be. But I was just watching Meg there just. I think he made a massive mistake there at turn 1 there. So Scope's just, I don't know if he's slowing down here because he's one of the Racing Point drivers here. That might be Lozak. So Lozak was just behind there. He thought that Scopefield was carrying on there, but unfortunately not here. But who are you watching so far here, Tim?
Taking a look at Steven, he has just started his flying lap. He's on the medium tires, though. I'm surprised that he's decided to go on that tire compound, but maybe he knows something that we don't. His best time is a 1:14.1. He's going to be looking to improve on that. Sir Spud, meanwhile, he's the only driver who has yet to set a qualifying lap. He hasn't even been out on track today, so not sure what's going on with Sir Spud, or if he just wants to start at the back by choice. But Steven certainly doesn't, so that's why he's trying to go out there and set a fast lap. Going through the tunnel now and approaching the chicane momentarily. We'll see what he can do.
Let's see what he can try to do for the final part of the qualifying here with 1 minute left here. 1 minute left of the qualifying here. Kendo Stephen try and hit into the top 10 here tonight with the medium tyres here. We will mention about the tyre strategies in a moment or two, but we'll just try and see how he can do it. 5/10 quicker on his best time here as well, coming up to passing the swimming pool section there. So Spud has retired, so he's not going to do the lap there. So he'll be the only one who's not done a lap at all tonight here at the Realistic Performance League tonight. Cryptox, Luke Bailey, Nigel Gash have all got retired as well here. O'Steven did a 1:13.6. Not quick enough, matching to what the others are doing from 1:10s to 1:11s there, Tim.
Honestly, it's still probably faster than I can get around this course. I do not like Monaco at all. It's so difficult to drive around, so I give props to each and every one of these guys. They're keeping it clean. They're doing a really good job.
They're doing a really good job there. I was just watching Charlie there to see what happened there. Lozak has retired first. Stan was retired as well. So I'm not sure what happened with Lozak there. He just retired there on track by the looks of things there. But with the qualifying has now stopped. The qualifying has now stopped here. Let's see how Roy Boy can do it. Oh, he's crashed. That's why. I do apologise to Lozak there. I did not know what actually happened there. But he actually crashed after the tunnel section there as well. So unfortunately for him there. Good evening to Sean. How you doing, mate? You're right. So you got this Scotty Bong now. Go, 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 as we always say. Roy Boy's coming up to the final bit now with the DRS straight now. And then come up to the final bit now. Let's see what he can try and do. Will he try and improve his time? He does. 1:10.452. Just only 300s quicker. Only 300s quicker than his best time there. Let's see how Energy Dan does it here. Now he's invalidated his lap here. So Charlie and Energy Dan are the only ones who are in track here, but they've invalidated the laps here. So Roy Boy has got that the final pole position. He got those final 2 points here as well for the Realistic Performance League at the Monaco Grand Prix here tonight. So we're just waiting for the guys to retire, which they have just done now. So I'll be testing on Tim's knowledge of his best ever race, best ever driver, what he thought he was his best ones, and then also his best moments there throughout the season as well. But that'll be later on now tonight. Here are your short qualifying classification for the Monaco Grand Prix for the Invictus Racing League, the Realistic Performance League. You've got Roy Boy in pole position in first, Charlie is in second, Scott Bugner is in third, Scott Fielder is in fourth, Samu is in fifth, Rymack's got 10 position penalty, I'm not sure what for, saw the first one. Simon Palmer's in 7th, Energy Dan 8th, Luke Bailey 9th, Lozak 10th, Mick 11th, Nigel Gash 12th, Cryptox 13th, Frush Stan 14th, Stephen 15th, and Sir Spud in last place in 16th, but obviously because of Rymack will be at the back of the grid. So yeah, just waiting for the loading screen here, and then we're going to talk about the usual advertisements, guys, and then we're going to talk about the race itself in a moment or two. This is the Invictus Racing League, live and exclusive on the YouTube channel here for the Realistic Performance League with myself, Malc, and Tim, live and exclusive on tonight at Tuesday nights here. Not only we do the Tuesday nights, we also got the Monday night league of the F1 League, which it was done last night. Like I said, that's been done and dusted, but you can catch that after when we get the new season started in a month's time. But normally with Gareth and Sab do a brilliant job on the commentary. They do a brilliant job as always. And then also you got not only Mondays and Tuesdays, we also got the F3 and F4 League on the Wednesday nights. Sorry, the F2 and F3. Sorry, not F3 and F4. F2, F3. I'm losing my mind here. But yeah, F2, F3 with Energy Dan and James for the Monaco Grand Prix for the F2, and obviously the rerun of Silverstone for F3 tomorrow with Harry and Charlie as well. The guys do a brilliant job with the commentary as always. And also check out the podcast as well on the YouTube channel as well. Not only we do that, we also got the Xbox League on the Sunday nights at 9:30 as well. They've just done their last race this Sunday gone, but hopefully we'll see more of that in the new game in a month's time. But also, not only we're on YouTube on here, we also got the social media side of Facebook, Twitter and Instagram as well. So make sure you like, subscribe and follow as well. That would be a fantastic achievement for that. But not only that, we also got the website, which is invictusracingleague.com. And if you register and apply to race, one of the admins will get in contact with you to see if you are eligible to race at the Invictus Racing Leagues. If you are, one of the admins will get in contact with you and get into a reserve race to see if you are capable of doing it. And if you are successful, you might be joined in one of the actual leagues as well. So not only that, we do that as well. And that is for us, for the Realistic Performance League, for the final time here tonight. So, Tim, last time I'm going to say this to you for Realistic Performance League for this season. Who's your top 3 for tonight?
The top 3. Okay, well, in any order, I'm going to give it to Samu, Gope, and honestly, I think it's a dead tie between Scott or Roy Boy. I cannot decide between either one.
Oh, go on. It's only the last race, Tim. Who would you pick? Come on.
You know what? I'll play it safe. I'll go the pole sitter, Roy Boy.
Okay, you played it safe there, so don't blame you on that as well. So we've got 39 laps here. Let's see if you get the betting slips ready. See if Tim can get it spot on here as well. It's very tough to pick, to be fair, because you just never know what to expect back here as well. The tyre strategies, which we forgot to mention here, the softs can last about 14 laps, the mediums can last about 30 laps, and the hards can last about 37 laps. So Spud's going to go all the way to the end with no stop, shall we say. Nah, he's going to have to pit anyway. You've got to pit anyway for the mediums or the softs, if possible. But the best strategy to go for is the medium hards, I believe. But you can go soft mediums either way. But I've been told like the soft mediums are about 3/10 slower than the medium hards. So that's just from what I'm seeing there. So that might be wrong as well. But that's the telemetry that we are getting here as well. But from your side here, Tim, when was the last time you raced at Monaco?
I don't think I've ever raced at Monaco, to be honest, because I always crash.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. Do you reckon there'll be a safety car actually tonight, from your point of view?
I personally do believe so. I do believe that there is going to be a safety car here at Monaco, just because it's what we were talking about in the qualifying. There's just so much. It's a tight little circuit. You cannot pass. It's so very difficult to get around here. I think that it's almost guaranteed to get a safety car, but I could be wrong. We just don't know.
Just never know what to expect. Will we see the match? Obviously, the rematch of Singapore at Monaco here as well. I know it's not going to be raining, but there could be safety cars. There could be so many shocks galore here. We just never know to find out. But I wish everyone all the very best of luck here tonight. This is the final race here. We've got 1 lights, 2 lights, 3 lights. Tim, 4 lights, 5 red lights.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights for the final time. We are green for the Invictus Racing League's Realistic Performance League from Monaco. Roy Boy leading him down into Sandovo. FPL Charlie in second. Scott Buckham moving up to third with Scopefielder in the Toro Rosso also in fourth. Samu, your championship winner, in fifth following this line of cars. Roy Boy, though, out to a very good lead, but FPL Charlie, he is on the hunt. He's trying to chase down that Alfa Romeo, and he is gaining on him, using what little bit of slipstream that he can. He's going to try to do everything he can here to win this race tonight, but first he's going to have to finish. Right now, the running order, Roy Boy, FPL Charlie, and Scott Bunger, your top 3.
Oh, yeah, so Roy Boy is a magnificent start there. I do apologise there, Tim. Normally I give you the starts there. My bad there. Yellow flag set to 2 there. Yellow flag set to 2, so I'm not sure exactly what happened there. That looks like Spud has gone right at the back there as well. So, but you have to be absolutely concentrated, 110% non-stop at Monaco. I've got a feeling there's going to be more than one safety car here tonight. Do you agree?
And before this lap, I would have agreed, but now I don't agree. It looks like they're actually keeping it very clean and starting to spread out a little bit. Of course, that could very easily change, and very quickly, too. But so far, these drivers are keeping it very clean. I'm not seeing a lot of dive bombs or anything like that.
No, absolutely not there, Tim. Absolutely not there. But I think they're trying to be absolutely cautious here. And I don't blame them for that. I think they're trying to be absolutely cautious to try not clash into any cars here or any of the walls here, because if you lose a bit of the wing, that's it. Your race is over pretty much. It's not going to be the slow pit stops here, but either way, it's still frantic stuff here as well. We've got a 3-car battle here for 6th place here, Tim. We've also got a 3-car battle here for 3rd as well. Well, actually, 4-car battle here for 8th place here now. So let's see what happens here from Energy Dan trying to hold on here against Luke Bailey here as well. Tim.
Yep. Currently, though, I am watching Roy Boy pull away from FPL Charlie. Going to take a look now at the battle between Luke Bailey and Nitro Gash. This is a point, and Lozak in the racing point actually goes underneath Luke Bailey, or Nitro Gash, excuse me, and makes him cut the Nouvelle Chicane. So Nitro Gash, he has got to be fuming inside of that car as Lozak just tried to make a move in a gap that was not there.
Yeah, I couldn't see it on that. I was just watching Energy Dan and Luke Bailey from that point of view there, but from your guessing there, that is Energy Dan going to the pits there, so he must have had some wing damage there during the start of the race here. So DRS is now enabled here, but he's going for the hard tyres here, Energy Dan, so he's going to try and go, well, he can pit all the way to the end here now with the hard tyres, regardless here, Tim.
Yeah, that he can, so Energy Dan going to try to do something a little bit different. And of course, if he had some wing damage, there's no point in not pulling in to repair that. So we'll look for Energy Dan to try to keep it to the end of the race on these hard tires. We'll see if he's able to do so. Roy Boy still leading, though, 1.5 seconds ahead of FPL Charlie. So that's a really good gap that he's already been able to build up. So Roy Boy so far sitting pretty in first, but only lap 3 at 39.
Yeah, so it's too much to call here, but like I said, we'll have to see what happens here at this moment in time. We've got a couple of battles here between Lozak and Nigel Gash, and also Ferocious Dan and Meg Lubpe as well, right at the back of the grid there. So Ferocious Dan, I don't know if he's, yeah, Ferocious Dan's got a bit of a front wing damage there before to back corner there. So something must happen there. So I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back into the pits here in a moment or two, Tim. But at the moment here, Roy Boy's, as you said earlier, Roy Boy's done a fantastic job there. Lozak's got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane here, so he's going from bad to worse there for Lozak. Tim.
Yep, currently I'm watching the battle for 3rd in the points. Luke Bailey and Nitro Gash running 7th and 8th in the race. Nitro Gash only 0.8 of a second behind Luke Bailey in that McLaren, so Nitro Gash in the Red Bull just trying to catch him, and it looks like he is, but you got to remember, from a lap ago, Nitro Gash does have a 5-second time penalty for cutting the Nouvelle Chicane, so that could come into play at the end of this race. Of course, the stewards will likely have to have a look at that and make a final decision, but that is post-race time. At the moment, Luke Bailey 7th, Nitro Gash in 8th, and this would be enough for Luke Bailey to clinch 3rd in the championship if the race were to end as they run.
Yeah, it'd be absolutely confirmed here as well, but actually, you got Scott, who's in 3rd place here, 20 points. So Scott Bogner would have 169 points. Luke Bailey, 16, 15, 14, so 14 points. So 168. So 168 points there. So I think if my maths are correct, I think Scott might, if it stays like this, depending on Charlie and Nigel Gash, I think Scott might get 3rd place. I will get that confirmed, but I think that might be correct. Yes, that might be correct. But yeah, Tim.
I do believe you are correct on that, Malc, actually. So with that being said, Luke Bailey will still have to gain at least one more spot, assuming that Scott only finishes in 3rd. So Luke Bailey can clinch this championship with a 6th place run if Scott finishes in 3rd by that math. So we have a really close battle for 3rd in points, and I just find that so amazing to see that. Taking it down to the last race, sure, the championship has already been decided. We know that. We saw that last week. Samuel Papaito won it. Scopefielder, he's clinched 2nd place. So those two drivers, they cannot move. But we still have anywhere from 3 to 5 drivers, depending on how they finish, who can realistically have a chance at 3rd place in the championship. Most notably, it's between Luke Bailey and Nitro Gash, and also Scott Bunger, as you pointed out. So it's going to come down probably to the last lap before we know for sure what's going on with that. Nonetheless, it's just a nice battle to watch. And Sir Spud is now retired. There is a safety car, I assume. He is stopped in the Nouvelle Chicane. Not sure what happened there, but unfortunate for Sir Spud to end Monaco like this.
Yeah, I do apologise if you just see a bleep off the screen there. I was just trying to get onto Sir Spud there, but I pressed the wrong button there. But safety car has come out here, so he might have done what Lozak just did at the qualifying, at the end of the end of the qualifying session here. So unfortunately, I did say we're guaranteed at least one safety car here. So now, this is quite interesting stuff here, because the tyre wear's not, it doesn't go that much at Monaco and like what all the other tracks do, because the soft and mediums can last a little bit longer than the telemetry is what we expected before. But from this point of view here, it's, I think for the guys who are on the softs and mediums, I think they can just stay where they are, but it just depends on who can gamble on that point in time. So yeah, we're just waiting for some of the guys to get themselves back in to there. But would you expect anyone to pit in now, Tim?
I would, and in fact, just as I say that, Roy Boy, FPL Charlie, they have decided to blink first and going into the pits, as well as Scott Bunger. So the podium runners are going to take a pit stop right now, Scope Filter as well, and that's probably the best thing to do, because they get not necessarily a free pit stop, but they get a pit stop to where they're not as at much risk of losing position. So you might as well. Roy Boy going on an interesting strategy, choosing the hard tires. So he's going to try to make it to the end of the race. Nitro Gash and FPO Charlie, everyone else behind him who pitted, except for Scope Filter, has decided to go onto the medium compound tires. So Scope Filter is on the hard tires. Roy Boy is on the hard tires. Every other driver that pitted decided to take the medium tires. And also it looks like Meg Luckby pitted for hard tires as well. And even Ferocious Dan, I think most of the drivers pitted that time.
Yeah, because I was surprised there with the guys who have gone for the medium tyres here. I think for the guys who are on the hard tyres here, I think they played it safe either way, regardless. But the the medium tyres can last about 30 laps, telemetry. But again, with the safety car, it might help a little bit longer than ever before. Probably about an extra 2 laps on there as well. But I think who the guys who are on the medium tyres here have got a good chance here. But I do feel sorry, like I said, I do feel sorry for Roy Boy if it does come down as like being pressured by the medium tyres crew here. Nigel will have to pit here. Same with O'Steven and Cryptox as well, which they will still have to pit regardless here. Tim.
Yeah, and it looks like Energy Dan, who actually pitted a few laps ago for hard tires, he didn't like those tires, so he decided to pit for the medium compound tires. So I believe you said that the mediums likely will not be able to make it to the end of the race, and to be fair, that would be a huge ask to make them last over 30 laps. So the medium compound tires will likely have to pit again, but the hard tires can more than likely keep out. So I think that Roy Boy might be okay if he can hold off the drivers behind him on this initial restart. Nitro Gash has slightly older medium tires, so I think that could actually play into Roy Boy's hands quite well, because with those older tires, Nitro Gash isn't going to be as much of a threat to him as, say, FPL Charlie or Scott Bunger would be starting behind him. Now, if FPL Charlie or Scott or Scope Filter or Simon, one of those drivers, are able to get by Nitro Gash, then that could really hurt Roy Boy, because they might have a bit of quicker pace. O'Steven, of course, running in 5th, he's got a chance too, but he has 7 laps on his medium tires, just like Nitro Gash, so he's at the same disadvantage.
He is at the same disadvantage here, but with this scenario here, Tim, I think what they're trying to do is, because this is the last race, and they're gambling everything they can here, because, well, whatever happens here, at this moment in time, if my calculations are correct, at this stage here, Nigel Gash will guarantee 3rd place. Well, actually, yeah, he'll guarantee 3rd place here. I'll just try and double check. 25, 20 to 20. 17, 16, 15 points for Scope Filter. So at the moment, if Scope Filter stays where he is, he will get 15 points. So that'll be 188. Nigel Gash, 22 points. 73, 175. So yeah, Nigel Gash will guarantee to finish in 3rd place. And the safety car is coming back into the pits here as well. So we're just waiting for Roy Boy to start. Restarting here, Tim. So Nigel Gash got a 5-second penalty for severe collision with Roy Boy. So that's damaging limitations there for Nigel Gash there, Tim.
Yeah, so that's going to be an issue indeed. Roy Boy is off to a very good start. A huge gap already put between him and Nitro Gash. Roy Boy, he was ready to go, and that's exactly what he needed to do to keep those drivers behind him. Already a 1.3 second lead for Roy Boy. And Nitro Gash is holding up FPL Charlie and Scott now. Looks like FPL Charlie is trying everything he can to get by Nitro Gash, but as we said, we just cannot pass here at this track. So it's difficult for FPL Charlie to find a good passing zone. Nitro Gash running in the middle of the track just to try to hold off FPL Charlie. Charlie thinking about making a move into that corner, but thought better of it, and probably the best thing to do. Going through the hairpin now. Nitro Gash and FPL Charlie running nose to tail, and Nitro's actually doing a very good job of holding Charlie off.
He has done a good job there. I was just trying to look to see if Nitro Gash has lost a bit of front wing damage there, but it doesn't look like he has. I think he just might have had a bit of a slow start there from Roy Boy's point of view here. But at the moment here, passing the chicane part here, coming to the back corner now as well. Roy Boy is in first, Nitro Gash is in second, FPL Charlie in third, Scott Bugner is in fourth, O'Steven's in fifth, Scopes in sixth, Simon Palmer's in seventh, Luke Bailey's in eighth, Samu is in ninth, the Drivers' Championship winner. Roy Mack is in 10th, Meg Lump is in 11th, Lozak is in 12th, Fresh Stan is in 13th, Energy Down 14th, and Cryptox in 15th place, which is Spud, the only DNF driver of the race here tonight. And I believe we've got another fan there. Good evening to Nick. He says, let's go Roy. He's going to try and support Roy all the way here. Let's see if he can try and get the hat trick here of the pole, the fastest lap, and the win here tonight. But at the moment here, he's only got 2 out of 3. But Charlie's trying to make the move here on Nitro Gash here, Tim.
And Simon and Scopefielder having a little bit of a battle. Simon got into the back of Scopefielder and upset his car a little bit. Scopefielder did a nice job hanging on to it. Behind Simon Palmer is Luke Bailey and Samu Papaito, who are battling it out. Samu tried to make a move on Luke Bailey, but thought better of it. They were side by side there for a little bit before entering the hairpin. So already these drivers, they're starting to take risks and make moves. Simon Palmer, though, he nearly spun Scopefielder. It was so very close. He did a good job of backing off to let Scopefielder hang on to it, and Scopefielder did a good job of saving the car himself.
Yeah, I just did not see that, what happened there, Tim, to be honest, because I was just watching to see what happened there from the top 3 point of view here between Nitro Gash and Charlie there as well. But with O'Steven trying to push on here, Scopefielder holding on here for dear life here against the flying Red Bull here of Simon Palmer. DRS is now back up and enabled here as well. So please make sure you like to subscribe to our video and the channel here for all the live races here as well. And Dan's gone back into the pits again, so I'm sure it's wings galore here at the Monaco Grand Prix, which he's not going to be happy with at all here. Tim?
Yeah, probably not. Still, I'm watching this battle between Scope and Simon Palmer. I want to see if Simon can use the DRS to his advantage whenever he finds a zone to use it in to try to get by Scopefielder. It looks like he is a little bit faster than Scope, and they go through the hairpin literally nose to tail. Scope, Simon, Luke, and Samu, all 4 of them basically just touching each other going through that hairpin. So very, very tight confines through that corner. Now it looks like Simon Palmer is just trying to chase down Scopefielder still, but behind him, Luke Bailey getting so very close to Simon Palmer. Might have even made a little bit of contact going into the Nouvelle chicane there. Not sure. Could not see it. Samu, though, he's actually playing it very safe. He is giving these drivers a lot of room, and Luke Bailey is actually starting to slow up. I don't know what's wrong. It does not look like he has any wing damage, but nonetheless, he is starting to slow up. But these drivers are right now being held up by the train of O'Steven.
Oh my days, who's going to try and get past O'Steven here? We've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We might have about 7 or 8 car battle here for 5th place here, Tim. Oh, I can't believe it. Let's see. Will we see 2 wide or 3 wide? The old quote there of the 3 in the bed moment there. Charlie moves up to 2nd place now, passing Nitro Gash finally in that point there as well, passing the just before the Grand Hotel there as well. Oh, Samu's made a move. Brilliant move, absolutely brilliant move there from Luke Bailey out of nowhere there, Tim.
Wow, watching that move, you would think that Samu doesn't realize that he already clinched the championship. Imagine if he was making the moves like that last week. the kind of finishes that he could have gotten, or just really the kind of messes that he could have gotten himself in even. Samu just driving it hard because he knows the championship is won. He knows that all he can do now is win a race, and he's trying so very desperately to do that from what is now the 8th position. Just in front of him, Simon Palmer is still going at it with Scope Filter. These drivers still being held up by O. Steven, who has 11 laps on those medium tires. So I would imagine that O. Steven's car is just begging for a new set before too long. Scope Filter, though, with only 5 laps on the hard tires, he can go the distance.
Yeah, I think Nitrogas has dropped down to 4th place now. Scott on with the DRS straight here moves up to 3rd place now. So Roy Boy, Charlie and Scott are in the top 3 here. Yellow flags. That was Luke Bailey. Luke Bailey at turn 1 there. So he must have made, I don't know if there was any contact there from his point of view there, but did you see that, Tim?
I did not, but I'm looking at Luke Bailey now, and he is missing part of his front wing on the left side. So Luke Bailey's chances at a 3rd place finish in the points are starting to dwindle here in Monaco.
It'd be unlucky here for Luke Bailey, who's done a brilliant job this season. Whatever happens here, not only from the Performance League, but also on the F3 League as well. So he's trying everything possible here. But I think the guys who are on the medium tyres here, Tim, they're struggling at 12 laps of it already. So could we see the medium tyres go way under than what we predicted in the telemetry here, Tim?
I think it's very possible, because you also got to take into consideration that how hard these drivers might be running. Nitro Gash, I'm sure that he was running his tires very hard when we went to the restart because he was trying to catch Roy Boy. Obviously, we see now he was not able to do so as he's running 4th, and just behind him, O. Steven running in 5th with a lot of pressure from Scope Filter. And Simon Palmer, was that Simon trying to make a move on Scope?
Yeah, he was trying to make the move right at the outside there, but Samu's going to try and make the move around the outside here before the casino part here. Oh my days, can we have 3 wide here at one of the corners here, please? Just for the finale part here. And it's too much to ask here, I know that, but Adrian has retired from the session here. Confirmed that. Lozak's got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane here as well. But I tell you what, Tim, it's about a 7-car battle here. Lozak has retired as well. So Adrian, Lozak and Spot are the only ones who've had their DNFs during this race here tonight. And we're not even hitting the halfway marker here as well. So Tim, what a race so far here at the Monaco Grand Prix.
It has been a wonderful race. Roy Boy, though, I'm sure he definitely feels that way, but I'm going to go take a look at him because FPO Charlie has caught Roy Boy, and he's going to try to make a move. They're going into San Devo, but does not do it, just not close enough that time, but the gap has shrunk to just 0.2 of a second. That Toro Rosso of FPL Charlie's just trying to look for a hole, trying to look for any kind of gap that he can try to squeeze into, and he hits the wall. FPL Charlie actually hit the wall that time, so that's going to put some distance between him and Roy Boy. I'm not sure if it damaged his wing at all. I would imagine so. Taking a look at the front of that Toro Rosso, it looks like it's okay, at least so far, though he might be missing a left end plate. It's very hard to see from the angle that I'm getting at the moment. So FPL Charlie just trying to chase down Roy Boy. He's keeping pace with him, so I think he's okay. But that was a very scary moment for FPL Charlie. That could have been the end of his race.
It would. You are correct there, Tim. He has lost a bit of his front L plate there on the left-hand side there, so that might lose a bit of straight line speed there between himself and Roy Boy here. But as long as he can try and keep it up with him, that'll be fantastic stuff here. But at the moment here, he might lose out a 10th here and a 10th there and a 10th everywhere there. But at the moment here, it doesn't look like he hasn't lost any wing damage there at all. But we'll have to wait and find out here. We've got the DRS straight now. Let's see if Charlie can try and catch up here. Yellow flag set to 3. That might be Nitrogash. Yes, it is. That is Nitrogash coming up to. He's going back into the pits. Yeah, he's going back to the pits. I think he must have had a wing damage there as well. But Nitrogash with 14 laps there. Will O. Steven, how long he can last those medium tyres here with that train of these coming up to turn 1 now. But still watching Charlie's point of view here. I don't know which one to pick here, Tim.
I'm just riding on board with Samu Papito. It's giving me the best view of this battle. Scope Filter is starting to lose just a little bit of ground to O. Steven. I thought for a minute Simon Palmer was going to be able to get by him. Scope Filter went just a little bit wide through that last corner, but not able to do so. Simon Palmer trying to go on the outside of Scope. They are side by side, but Simon Palmer has to back out as they enter the chicane, or the hairpin, rather.
Yeah, crashing into the Grand Hotel there, shall we say, as well. Come up to Coming up to the tunnel part here now as well. But this has been a great race here. Can you imagine if O'Stephen was at first place here? We would have had a massive battle here for the lead here. It would have been absolutely epic here. Charlie's trying to close in on Roy Boy again now for, well, it was 3/10 there, now it's 5/10 now at this battle for the lead here. Yellow flag set to 2, that's either Rymac or Cryptox. That is Cryptox, I believe. Cryptox has got a 3-second time penalty for corner cut in there as well. But with Nigel Gash in the hard tyres here as well, so they're going to try and go all the way to the end here as well. But with this battle here for 4th place here, who's going to try and beat O'Stephen here on the straight line speed here? Tim!
Scope Builder trying to do everything he can. He can gain on him. He can get right to his back, but he just cannot do anything else with it. He just cannot get the speed to make a move. Simon Palmer suffering the same frustration with Scope Builder, who holds him up. O'Stephen, though, he's just really forming a line of cars behind him, but a impressive job from O'Stephen to hold these drivers off. I know we said many times that you can't pass here, that it's very hard, it's a very tight track. It's actually Scope Builder and Simon Palmer made a little bit of contact going through the Grand Hotel section there. But nonetheless, O'Stephen, even though it's hard to pass at this track, he's done a very good job to keep pace and hang on to this car and hold off these drivers. And you know, hats off to Simon and Scope for keeping it cool. And going into the Nouvelle Chicane, Simon Palmer gets into the back of Scope just again, but it was only a little love tap, so no harm, no foul. But as I was saying, hats off to those drivers for keeping it patient, because it would be so very easy to lose your patience and to try to get by O'Stephen, to try, or, you know, for Simon Palmer to get by Scope Builder. And just as I say that, Samu does not have any patience. He loses his patience and just motors by Simon Palmer. Simon Palmer decides he's had enough and pulls into the pits with 10 laps on those tires. Yeah,
Samu, it's just like saying, well, thank you very much, I'll take that, sunshine, and he done it with ease. I know there's a bit of contact there, but I don't know if that was cause of what Simon Palmer pitted there, or is he going to try and get try and get into the pits to avoid the pack again and try and get back into that same position here as well. But we've got another 3-car battle here. Oh my days, Scope and Samu. Samu has just moved up to 5th place now. Scope Field who's dropped down to 6th place here, so there was a bit of a issue there as well from what we saw there as well, but hopefully we'll see that in more depth next time there. But so now Samu, the Drivers' Championship winner and also the Constructors' winner as well, with Nigel Gash bowing out here to try and get onto 4th place here as well.
And Rymac going into the Nouvelle Chicane has just lost part of his front wing. He got into the back of Scope Builder, and so the left end plate of his wing is gone now, and it looks like Meg Luckby behind him hit the wall, and so now Meg Luckby's missing some of his front wing. Yeah, I just saw that as I was watching Rymac there. So 2 drivers have had wing damage now. They'll have to pit. I think they'll. Oh well, I think they might not have to pit again, but it depends if the wing damage is too much there. But Samu's right at the back end. Samu's making the move. Too wide. Oh, brilliant! Brilliant move! Absolutely brilliant move there. Fantastic stuff there from Samu, Tim. That it wasn't. Samu gets very loose. He hangs on to it. Did you see that, Malc? What an absolute legend. That was a magnificent save from Samu.
Yeah, just saw that. He is a very lucky boy there in 4th place here, but still, Schofield are right at the tail there of O'Stephen there. O'Stephen's trying to push on now to try and get onto the hard tyres here as much as possible here, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do 2-stop here. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to do the 2-stop around here. But now with Osamu trying passing O'Stephen now, he's got a clear run now. But you have a mammoth task to try and catch up to the top 3 here tonight, regardless here. But Scope's right on the tail there of O'Stephen now for 5th place here. Tim.
Scope, I think, is going to try to take a page out of Samu's notebook, because he might try to make a move on O'Stephen. O'Stephen actually just moves over and lets him by, so a good show of sportsmanship from O'Stephen there. Scopefielder trying to do everything he can to hold him off now, and I don't think it's going to be much of an issue, because Scopefielder only has 13 laps on those hard tires, where O'Stephen has 19 laps on the medium tire. So O'Stephen has done a very good job of making these tires last as long as he possibly can. definitely no way that they're going to the end of the race, mind you, but nonetheless, 19 laps on those tires. I think that's the longest stint on medium tires that we've seen today, so hats off to the Ferrari driver.
Yeah, fair play to Steve. I think he's going to try and go as much as possible here. If he can try and get a bit more laps here, he might try and do up to lap 25 to do 14 laps of the softs. I think that's what he would like to try and do, but I think to play it safe, go on the hard tyres now. I would go on the hard tyres now, but it all depends what Steven's got on his mind here. The only closest battle we've got here is Roy Boy and Charlie here for first place here, Tim. But as we watched it so far this season here, who's been your best driver this season?
The best driver this season. Oh, now that is a tough one. However, I think I'm going to have to give it to Samu. Not because he won the championship, but because he won the championship in dominating fashion. 4 wins so far on the season. Trying to get his 5th here tonight. Not sure if he's going to be able to do that or not, but he is certainly trying. He made a good move on O. Steven. He made a good move on Simon Palmer. And that's just in this race. We have seen Samu be quick each and every week in this season. So I've got to give it to Samu because he's just run a magnificent season.
Absolutely, he's done a fantastic job here as well, and I do agree with you on that one, only because of the way he come back from Scopefielder's start of the season here. Everyone thought Scope would have got the championship here and settled, but with Samu just pushing on, it was just a brilliant move and brilliant momentum there from Samu's point of view here, and he deserves to win the title. And also, I think it's Nigel Gash's first ever title win, I think, of the constructors, but I might be wrong, but I think that was Nigel Gash's first ever constructors win, as well as Samu's fantastic championship career as well. Cryptox has got a 3-second time penalty for corner cuts in as well, but at this moment in time here, the only way Samu would get back into the top 3 is if we get another safety car. That's if we get another safety car. And Frostan earlier on has had the DNF. I think we did not mention earlier on, so we do apologise for that. SK says, go Charlie. I apologise if I didn't mention that earlier on in the stream there. We're on lap 22 of 39 here on the final race of the Invictus Racing League, the Realistic Performance League, at the glorious, fantastic race at Monaco here. McLugpy's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings here. Tim?
Currently, I am watching the battle for the lead because we got 3 cars in this mix. Roy Boy, FPL Charlie, and Scott Bunger. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Malc, but Scott Bunger, he's been a little bit of a sleeper in the point standings, and I failed to actually notice how quick that he was earlier on when I made my prediction that the position of 3rd would only be between Nitro and Luke. However, as they run now, I do believe that Scott Bunger is in 3rd at this point if the race were to finish. So he's trying to cap it off with a win. Running in 3rd, though, nonetheless, is a good showing. Yeah,
so at the moment here, Charlie would get 160 if it stays like this. He would get 160 based on the 22 points he'd get. Scott Bunger with 20 points would be 169 points. So yes, you are right there, Tim. At the start of the race, it was like Nigel Gash would have got it. Obviously, he would have had to pit anyway. But yellow flag set to 3. That might be Meg Lugby. That might be Meg Lugby there from 8th place before the pit stop there. So he's going back into the pits there as well. But yeah, Scott Buckner will get 3rd place if it stays like this. So, but yeah, I mean, there's a few drivers here who've excelled this season, to be fair, and they've done a magnificent job regardless here, whether they've had a slow start and creep themselves back up. As long as they've gone back up to the race here, they've done a magnificent job regardless here. Like Scott Bungner, Samu, Scope. I mean, Scope, who had an unfortunate run, which brought Samu back into like the 1st place here, Tim. And I really do hope Scope can bounce back here and beat Samu on track here tonight. But hopefully he'll try and return back for the new season of the Realistic Performance League in a month's time. Tim.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you saw it, Malc, but Scott Bunger, he actually hit the wall through turn 17 that last lap. So Scott Bunger, I don't think it damaged his car any, but I think he's starting to play it safe now. So we now only have a 2-car battle for the lead between Roy Boy and Charlie. Roy Boy having a bit of a lockup going through the Nouvelle chicane there. FPL Charlie just putting the pressure on him, trying to intimidate him and let him know that he is there. And Roy Boy, he's got to play his cards right. Now, FPL Charlie, he has 17 laps on those medium tires. So far, Roy Boy can still go to the distance, and FPL Charlie is more than likely going to have to pit. Oh, Steven, we see him just now pitting. I do believe that would put about 21 laps on his medium tires. So we have a rough idea of how far these drivers can make them last. It's just a matter of if FPL Charlie is willing to risk it and take it just a little bit longer to try to keep pace with Roy Boy, but he can't stay out too long because otherwise he risks losing position to Roy Boy. However, those tires look very good as he actually gets very loose through that corner. He got so close to Roy Boy, had to back out of it, and it looked like it just upset the car a little bit and almost turned it around, but a good job from FPL Charlie to hang on to that car.
Yeah, he did a magnificent job there, Charlie. At one point, I thought that car was just going to go and hit the wall there, and he would have damaged limitations there for his second place here. But I tell you what, fair play to him, because now Scott is pushing on now. And to be fair, though, Charlie and Scott, since they've been, like I said, they've been battling out here, they've done a magnificent job here as well tonight. So the top three battling out here with a 22-second gap there from the top three here, roughly as well. So it's a bit of a gap. This is the only battle we've got, except for the Luke Bailey Simon Palmer battle, which the two teammates are battling out here for 9th and 10th place, respectively, here as well. But this is the time now to go into the pits for the soft tyres if they want to risk it here as well. Would you have gone for it, Tim, or would you stay out if you was in Charlie or Scott's point of view now?
At this point, I would stay out. If I wanted to pit on the soft tires, I would make my current set last as long as possible so that the softs have as much life as they possibly can to the end of the race. I think that if someone were to pit this lap for the soft tires, they realistically could make it to the end. However, those tires would be begging for a change come the end of this race. So if you can last another 2 or 3 laps on your current set of tires, I think you can go a long way on preserving those softs.
Yeah, but it all depends if they want to risk it for a biscuit point of view here as well. But Charlie's right on the back of Roy Boy there as well, and see what he can try and do here. Charlie can try and pass in to back corner now. I love that corner. I don't know why, I just love where you can see the grandstand's point of view there, passing the swimming pool section as well, and he's right on the back end there. Will he try and make the move here? No, he doesn't. But Roy Boy, he's done like I say, he's done a magnificent job here of holding on for first place here. But fair play to him. With 13 laps now left to go here. 13 laps left to go here. Can Roy Boy hold on here, or will Charlie and Scott produce the goods here and stop Roy Boy from getting the win here tonight here, Tim?
We're going to have to find out, and I think that at this point, with 20 laps on both the hard and medium tires on the first and second cars, that Roy Boy's tires might have a little bit more pace than FPL Charlie's, because the hard tires, obviously, they can last much longer. However, I am honestly surprised that FPL Charlie has been able to hold so close to Roy Boy as long as he has.
He has, but now he's going to have to watch out for Scott Buckner now, because this is one hell of a battle here for the second place here now as well. Because if Scott can get second place, let me just have a look. If Scott can get second place here, which will be 22 points, 171. So Scott would get 171. Charlie would get, at the moment, he would have 160. So that's what it is at the moment. If he drops down, he would lose out 2 points, obviously because of the 20 points gap. So he would get 1.8 if he drops down to third place here. So we are keeping tabs with the point situations here for the third place here, because that's the only. There is a few positions that we could be talking about, but the main talking about is we know that Samu has won the title. Scope is in 5th place, so he'll be all right to finish off in second place regardless. But it was the battle between Luke Bailey, Nitro Gas, Scott, Charlie well, Charlie and Rymac is like an outsider chance here, depending on how Scott, Luke Bailey and Nigel Gash have done during the race here tonight. Tim?
Yeah, and it's a good race it has been so far, though nonetheless, Charlie just trying to do everything he can. I am going to go back, though, and take a look at Samu, just simply because he has 21 seconds behind Scott. It's not that anything is going on, it's just a matter of the front three drivers, the podium runners, with Samu having 20 seconds on them. They have essentially a free pit stop, so they'll lose positions among themselves, but they might not lose a position to Samu. So with him being 20 seconds back, that might play into their hands. It's just a matter of who's going to blink first.
Would you blink now, or would you wait until the next few laps?
If I were Scott Bunger, I would stay out one more lap, depending on what the tire wear is, and then pit for softs. If I was FPL Charlie, I would not do anything until Roy Boy did.
Fair enough, fair dues. And Scopefielder is going to the pits now, which I'm guessing he'll go for the soft tyres, which I don't blame him on that. Yeah, he will. I'm guessing he'll try and get for that fastest lap as well, which I don't blame him. He's just coming out of the pits now, which he would stay ahead of Rymac here. So that's not too bad there, considering the gap there as well. So the gap there was about, I think it was about 20 seconds. Now it's dropped down to 3 seconds now. So now Scope will try and push on to try and get closer to Samu. Mammoth task, but the only way to get closer is the safety car now. That's where we have to happen. Luke Bailey's going to the pits again, which I'm guessing he'll go for the softs, as he is the current fastest lap sitting here now. Tim?
Yeah, it's currently, though, still watching the battle between Scott Bunger and FPL Charlie, because it looks like Roy Boy is starting to pull away from these two drivers, while FPL Charlie is starting to drop back towards Scott. So I think that the medium tires might have reached their limit. These drivers probably need to start thinking about pitting this time around. Roy Boy, however, he could probably stay out, and I think we're going to see Roy Boy try to stretch these tires all the way to the very end. Not sure if he's going to be able to do it or not, but if FPL Charlie and Scott both have to pit behind him, that could play into his hands beautifully, because by the time they get out of the pits, he could have over a 20-second lead, and he could either A, pit for softs, or play it safe, stay out, and just hope that the hards will last.
I tell you what now. Samu and Scope pitted earlier. Samu has pitted now, and it's now 5 tenths between those 4th and 5th place. So the two drivers battling out for the Drivers' Championship throughout the season here. We might have a grandstand finish on to see how they can try and battle it out here as well. Oh, Charlie has pitted. Charlie has blinked and pitted for, which I'm guessing would be for the soft tyres anyway here. So, what's your reaction there, Tim?
I think that it was probably the best move there. It seemed like with him dropping away from Roy Boy, he might have used up his tires. However, he had to change a front wing, so that is going to hurt Charlie's chances at a win, and I think it might actually write him completely off without a safety car. So he had to change a front wing. Not sure if that was from earlier damage or if that was something that just occurred. But FPL Charlie taking the soft tires as we expected he would, rejoining this race in the 3rd position, so he's not losing too much, but he's 25 seconds behind Scott, who is 1.9 seconds behind Roy Boy.
Yeah, did you see if he had the front wing damage earlier on, or was it just happened during that time? Because we didn't see that much. Obviously, we saw Charlie had a bit of a front wing damage earlier on, which we wasn't sure if there was more damage to it than ever before, but we knew that we had the front wing damage earlier on as well. Sean says, come on Scott, pressure on Charlie, go. That was earlier on before he pitted there as well. So with 9 laps left at the Invictus Racing League, the Realistic Performance League, for the final race at the Monaco Grand Prix here. Roy Boy, who had pole position here at the start of the race here, still holding on here for first place here and done a magnificent job here. The battle between Charlie and Scott trying closely on first there, but then we had a mammoth train here, didn't we, Tim, from O'Stephen? Quite a few drivers here. Now Luke Bailey's improved the fastest lap time now with a 1 minute 12.990 now. Fantastic stuff there, Tim.
Yeah, it is, and Luke Bailey just trying to do what he can to try to ensure that he gets third in the points, but I don't think it's going to be enough with him running in 12th and Scott Bunger in 2nd. So Luke Bailey trying to go for broke and give it everything he's got, but without a catastrophe from Scott Bunger and without a catastrophe from Nitro Gash, it's just not going to be enough. But hats off for the effort nonetheless. Scott Bunger, meanwhile, he's starting to drop back even further from Roy Boy. 2 seconds now separating these two drivers. So I almost wonder if Scott is going to think about pitting soon. However, it's not that it could be a race-winning move without a safety car. I do believe that if Roy Boy keeps it clean, that he has this thing won. It's just a matter of if a safety car were to happen and Scott pitted, that would help him. But even if a safety car were to happen, Roy Boy would pit for soft tires as well. So I think at this point, it is Roy Boy's race to lose. He just has to play it safe, play it smooth, hit his marks, and not crash out. And he could very easily walk away with this win.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, like I said earlier on, well, Charlie's got the fastest lap now with 1 minute 12.856 now. So Charlie in 3rd place now. Right, so he would have 21 points now. So at the moment here, Charlie will have 159 points. Scott Bugner would have 171, I believe, 171 points. So yeah, it's I don't know. You don't know which one to pick. There's been so many good battles here. This season's been one hell of a battle here. But I'll remind everyone here, this is the first time in about 4 seasons here. Well, this is because Mr. Sky C, who's the former Realistic Performance Championship winner of the last 4 seasons here, which is magnificent stuff there as well. Cryptox and Rymac have gone to the pits now to see if they can try and improve there as well. But Samu is the first driver since Meglupi win the Drivers' Championship. That's not Mr. Scorsese as well. Yellow flag set to 1. Yellow flag set to 1. That is Simon Palmer there. Up. That was not up the hill part there before the casino. But safety car! Safety car! We have got the safety car here. 5-second penalty for severe collision with Meglupi here. So that's from Simon Palmer's point of view here. So safety car has happened here. Schofield's going to the pits now. Tim.
Oh my goodness. This just got 10 times more intense.
So now, this is quite interesting stuff here now. Obviously, Roy Boy Scott, and, well, this is massive improvement here now for Charlie to bounce and charge on these two drivers here. But it all depends. I'm just trying to see where they are on track here. They're passing the swimming pool section here. Simon Palmer has retired from the session here, and that is during the tunnel section there, which I believe that was seen on the map there. Let's see if Roy Boy pits. Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. Oh! Roy Boy just teased there at Scott there to try and go into the pits there, but he's saying, no, I don't want to go to the pits. I'll let you go to the pits, sunshine. And that's what happened there with Scott, who's going to the pits there. Let's see where Charlie is now. Charlie is coming up to the last bit of the corners now. So Scott, let's see where Scott is going to come out. Oh, Scott is just missed out on 2nd place there. So Charlie will keep 2nd, and Scott will drop down to 3rd here. Hopefully the drivers will try and catch up here, but normally with the safety car near the end of the race, it's normally probably doesn't wait till all cars are there. Probably wait for like till about lap 37 and then see what happens there as well. But I did say we need a safety car to spice things up for the finale race here, the Realistic Performance League tonight. And I tell you what, it ain't off correct there, Tim.
Yes, you were, but I seriously question Roy Boy's move to not make a pit stop. I see what he's trying to do. He has held off these drivers for this long. What is another 3 or 4 laps? But I do not agree with that decision. I think that he should have pitted for the soft tires. I could very well be eating my words at the end of this race, but this could go either very right or very wrong for Roy Boy.
I think it's because Scott went to the pits at pretty much the same time, nearly. And I think he would have lost. I think Roy Boy would have lost the lead to Charlie at this stage here as well. Considering I can't remember how many penalties the guys have got, but with this, hopefully, it's a matter task. Obviously, Charlie has got a couple of cars ahead of him. Obviously, the lapped cars between himself and Roy Boy here. So hopefully the lap cars will try and get out of the way as quickly as possible here. So we're just waiting for Scope, I believe. I believe that it might be Scope. Yeah, it is Scope. To come up to join the pack here as well. So it looks like maybe on lap 36 into 37 here, we will have the safety car back into the pits here for the finale party as well. If you're watching, guys, who do you think is going to happen? Do you think Roy Boy will hold on for first, or do you think Charlie and Scott will steal first place from Roy Boy, who's been dominant from start to now in first place here? But let's see what happens here. But Tim, what would you do in this situation here? Would you... I know Charlie's got a few cars behind. Sorry, a few cars ahead, which are the lapped ones between himself and Roy Boy here. And then also he's got the ongoing charge of Scott here, who's on the fresher softs. About 4 laps better off than Charlie's here, Tim.
If I was FPL Charlie, I would lock myself to the back of Roy Boy's car. And as soon as he hits the gas, I am flooring it, I'm following him through. I am not letting him out of my sight, and I'm making a move as soon as possible, because with those old tires, you know that FPL Charlie can do it. It's just a matter of, will he have enough time, because the safety car will be in this lap and we are going to go green. This will be the final restart for the Monaco Grand Prix. This is the final race of the season. Roy Boy out to a lead, FPL Charlie in second, but 1.8 seconds separating these two drivers. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. Roy Boy had a really good start, but it looks like FPL Charlie is gaining on him, and gaining on him significantly through the first sector, already down to 1.5 seconds with just 3 laps to go.
Yeah, it's charging up now. So Roy Boy's just gone behind of looks like the lap car there of Cryptox, by looks of things there. And then we had a blue looks like a blue car there, or maybe Rymac, I do apologise there as well. But good to Abek, he says this is going to be tasty. It will be tasty, because we need to find out who's going to win the Monaco Grand Prix. For this will be the best one ever here at Invictus Racing League, the Real Performance League as well. So let's see. If you like what you see so far, guys, please make sure you like, subscribe to the Invictus Racing League channel and on this video for all the live races here as well. That's all we ask, guys. That's all we ask here. We've got Charlie's trying to right on the tail here. Roy Boy here now. 3-car battle here for the lead here, Tim.
Yeah, and you got to remember Scott Bunger in third. He has fresher tires than Charlie does, so Charlie's tires are probably going to start showing their age before too long, while Scott Bunger, his is brand new. However, FPL Charlie might have just enough to get by Roy Boy, but so far he is not able to do it. He's getting so very close, but trying to be careful to not get into the back of Roy Boy, and a good job by Roy Boy to hold him off up to this point. Get a little bit loose from FPL Charlie there, so things are starting to intensify. A lockup from Roy Boy going to the corner. They approach the hairpin now, going to the hotel section. It looks like there's a small bit of contact between Roy Boy and FPL Charlie, just enough to let Roy Boy know that Charlie is there. They are going through the tunnel now. Roy Boy, Charlie, Scott Bunger, Samu, Scopefield are your top 5, but the battle for the lead is between the top 3. Roy Boy, FPL Charlie, and Scott. It looks like FPL Charlie thought about making a move into the Nouvelle Chicane, but not able to do anything with it. And it looked like both drivers, Roy Boy and Charlie, both were just having issues getting through that last corner. A lot of time penalties being awarded now, but we're coming to the final lap this time. Roy Boy still in the lead, but FPL Charlie getting a little bit loose. I thought he was going to be able to make a move, but he got loose. He was not able to make a move, and he's going to have to deal with pressure from Scott Bunger, who is all up on the back of that Toro Rosso. So it is Alfa Romeo, Toro Rosso versus Williams in the final lap of the Realistic Performance League Monaco Grand Prix.
Absolutely unbelievable stuff here for the final race, for the final lap here. Luke Bailey's retired. Luke Bailey has retired from the race here. So now Sector 3 has been yellow flagged there, so let's see what happens here. Will Scott try and get past Charlie here for third place here? Well, actually, Scott Bungman will guarantee third place here, regardless whatever happens here in the Drivers' Championship standings here. But who's going to win the Monaco Grand Prix? Will it be Roy Boy? Will it be Charlie? Will it be Scott? Well, it's definitely going to be one of those three. I know they've got penalties here. I think Charlie's got penalties. I know Scott's just got the penalty there as well. But also, not only that top three battle there, we've got Samu and Scope, the two drivers who've banging out all season here for fourth and fifth place here for the final part here. You can see from the back of there, Charlie to back. Oh no! Contact! There's been contact there at the back corner there, but they're still going there between Scott and Charlie here for the final part here of this race here. Unbelievable scenes here.
And as they round the final corner, turn 19, Roy Boy will cross the line and he will win the Realistic Performance League Monaco Grand Prix. FBO Charlie, after a magnificent run, coming in second. Scope, well, finishing second, but actually dropping down to fourth after time penalty. So Samu, your championship winner, will finish in the second position, and Scope Fielder rounding out the podium in third.
So Roy Boy, congratulations to him. He has won the Monaco Grand Prix. Brilliant stuff there. Charlie and Scott. I couldn't remember if Charlie had the penalty, but he obviously confirmed now with Charlie and Scott had the penalties there, but Samu and Scope in the top three here tonight, so they'll be joining in with the commentators box here, Roy Boy, Samu and Scope, for their thoughts of the race here tonight. And I tell you what, fantastic stuff there from everyone's point of view here. So at the moment here, Scope will guarantee to finish second. Charlie will have fourth place. It will be 17 points, so he would have 155 points. Scott will have 16 points, so Scott will have 165 points. So, and depending on well, actually Nigel Gash, I think Nigel Gash has got third place actually. We'll get that confirmed. We'll get that confirmed in a moment or two, but it looks like it was between Scott and Nigel Gash for third place here. So I did say with Scott finishing with 169 points, I think Nigel Gash finishing 8th, and in 8th place would have 13 points. So 166. Right, so I think if I said 169, no. Right, we'll have to get it confirmed again. I'm losing the maths point here, but it looks like it's very close between Scott and Nigel Gash for third place for the driver's standings there, but we'll get that confirmed in a moment or two there as well. So here are your race classification for the Monaco Grand Prix. For the final race of the Invictus Racing League, there is obviously you've got Roy Boy in first, Samu is in second, Scope is in third, Charlie's in fourth, Scott is in fifth, Rymax is in sixth, O'Stevens in seventh, Nigel Gash is in 8th, Cryptox is in 9th, Meg Lumpy 10th, Luke Bailey, Simon Palmer, Fresh Stan, Lozak, Energy Dan, Spud have all had the DNFs during that race itself. So, yeah.
What a magnificent race though, Malc.
It was a magnificent race and topped it all off with whatever happened here during the season here as well. Abak says, wow, penalties played a massive part in this race. Great race to the guys, brilliant last race. Nightshades, thank you very much, Nightshades. Absolute legend you are. We will try and invite Roy Boy, Samu and Scope if they can join in as well, which I think they are joining slowly into the commentators box. So if you can hear us guys, can you please make sure you allow voice to be shared is set to always allow. If you're not sure how to do it, go to the party settings, and there's an option for allow voice to be shared. Make sure it's set to always allow. So while the guys are all set and ready to go, we will talk about their thoughts of the race here tonight. O'Steven says, thanks for the commentary all season, Malc and Tim. All aboard the O'Steven train. Chop choo, or choo choo, as O'Steven's mentioned there as well. So legend there as well. So make sure you like, subscribe. Harry says, sounds like I've missed a great finale there. Great commentary all season, Malc and Tim. Bring on 2020 as always, Harry. Thank you very much as always, Harry. You did a brilliant job on F3 as always. So, Roy Boy, Samu and Scope, are you there? All set, ready to go?
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice one. So, we're going to talk to Roy Boy, then Samu, and then Scope for their final the final questions of the season here, and see what their thoughts of their best moments of the season as well as this race tonight. So, Roy Boy, how you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, great. Especially after tonight.
Yeah, it is, because this is your first ever podium and your first ever win on the last race of the season. So what's your thoughts of tonight then?
Well, it was really difficult, even at the end, when everybody was pitted on softs and I was still out there on hards. But I didn't know to pit, because if I pitted, then the second place would come in front of me if he didn't pit.
Yeah.
So I decided to keep my track position, and in the end it worked.
Yeah, because I was about to ask you that question actually, because we saw it on the stream that you was teasing to try and get into the pits, and you're like, yeah, no, and then you just switched last minute to say, I can't go in the pits because, as you said, Charlie would have gone ahead in first place, and that would have been would have been lost it there as well. But where was that pace coming from all tonight?
Yeah, maybe also a bit luck of Monaco. I had a really good qualifying, and in Monaco it's really hard to overtake. So I just tried to manage to not get front wing damage or any penalties.
Absolutely. I mean, you've had a good season, to be fair, Roy Boy. From the race, not only the race tonight, obviously, which give you massive points here, which will give you about 27 points. So I believe you would have had 127, which would push you up to 8th, depending on where Stephen was as well on track. But still, did you feel like it's been a good season for you?
Yeah, I also had other few pole positions, but didn't manage them to turn it into a win at Monza and Singapore, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
But both of those races went the wrong way for me. But now luckily I have a win and my first podium.
Yeah, and it's a shame that you couldn't capitalise, as you said, it's a shame that you couldn't capitalise on your poles to what you did tonight at Monaco within the other races that you did. But from your side there, Roy Boy, who's been your best battle this season from your point of view?
Hard question, because this is my first season and I don't know all these guys. But I found it fun battling everyone, and everyone is so clean around here. So everyone knows if you put the car beside someone, they know you're there and they respect you. So that makes fun, really good racing.
Absolutely. Roy Boy, you are finally a winner on the racetrack tonight, and I wish you all the very best of luck. If you are coming back next season, we'll be looking forward to seeing if you can improve from your 1 win to maybe 2 wins or maybe even more. We'll have to wait and see. But thank you very much for joining tonight. Congratulations on the win. Enjoy a drink or 2 or 3, wherever you want to please on that one. But for your point of view, Roy, but you can say if you want, or you can shoot off, it's up to you. But thank you very much for joining tonight, Roy Boy.
I also want to thank you guys for commentating every race for us.
Oh, thank you, Roy Boy. Absolute legend. You are absolute legend. Thank you very much, mate. Wish you all the very best of luck next season if you are joining us back. Thank you very much.
Of course I will.
Nice one. Samu, how you doing, mate? You alright?
I'm alright.
Right. For the first time since your drivers and constructors winners on there, how did it feel at Monaco tonight from your point of view?
Well, overall, it felt good. I love this track, but stressful at the same time because, well, you have to, well, especially I had traffic, a lot of traffic, so I had to go through them, and it's tricky. You have to pick really well your overtaking points because you cannot just put your car alongside But yeah, it was great feeling. I mean, unlikely. I wasn't expecting a podium. The safety car just helped me massively. We were nowhere 15 seconds or 30 seconds from the leader before the safety car, and yeah, unlikely. I was expecting that.
Absolutely. I think, as you said, the second safety car, I can get my words right. The second safety car was the one where it was crucial because you brought back into it and try and get closer to the guys who were in the top three. We were battling out all race with Charlie and with Scott as well. And from that point of view, you had one great move, which I think me and Tim saw, was your move on Simon Palmer, I believe, I think it was at the casino part. I think it was. You had a move there as well, I think.
Yeah, well, I have two. One on Simon on the penultimate corner, and another one on, I don't know who it was. I just can't remember. But yeah, I mean, they had wing damage, so I had to like get past him quickly. And yeah, I mean, they behaved also. They were clean. They gave me enough room, so I want to thank them also. So yeah, good moves and great race.
Absolutely. Another question, which I'll say the same to Scope in a minute or two. You two were battling out, just going to the pits, and it was close. Did you feel like it was like the same battle that you had all season for the Drivers' Championship this season, you and Scope?
Yeah, I mean, lately we have been together in track, very close to each other, like in Silverstone. So I did hear the same because he pitted one lap earlier for soft on lap 29. So I was not expecting that, and I had wing damage and old tires. So yeah, I was just covering him, as I did in Silverstone with the Inters when it started raining, just in case. But yeah, just it's been great battle with him. Really enjoyed it, clean, respectful, and yeah, just congratulate him for the amazing season he has done, and yeah, just happy.
Absolutely, I'm sure he'll say the same to you in a minute or two. But from your point of view, for the last question, who was your best ever battle this season? Was it Scope or was it someone else this season?
Best ever battle? Yeah, Scope on Singapore. Yeah, the last lap. That was just mental. It was crazy, just great. Yeah, that one, 100%.
Absolutely. Samu, you are like I said, a winner of the drivers and the constructors from this season. The first time since Meg Luppy a few seasons ago, but in the main one being Mr. Sky Z for the first time in 4 seasons there as well. But also, obviously, Meg Luppy did win the title, but it was in 2 leagues at that point in time. But in this point of view, we have stopped the rot of Mr. Sky C's point of view. So well done, Samu, on a brilliant season. You did a brilliant job there, and well done for finishing second place after penalties. I wish you all the very best of luck, whether you carry on in the Performance League next season or carry on with the other leagues in Invictus as well. But thank you very much for joining tonight. You can stay if you want, or you can shoot off. It's up to you. But absolute legend, you are. Congratulations this season.
Thank you, and thank you guys for commentating.
Oh, thank you, mate. Absolute legend you are, as always. And sorry, we should go say something. Sorry, or no?
Oh no.
No. Okay, no worries. Thank you to Simon there as well. Scope, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
So Scope, tell us about your thoughts of Monaco in your own words.
A bit of a mess strategically. I should have never gone on the hards on the first pit stop. But then I would have been stuck behind those Steven either way, but it would have probably been easier with the medium tires rather than the hard tires.
Yeah.
And then when I got through him, I think I lost Samu there. I think it was some weird lag I got, but nothing I can do about it. And then Samu was just too quick, defended very well. So yeah, lucky to get the podium with a late safety car, but yeah, could have been more. But yeah, not great.
Yeah, because I was about to ask actually the battle from the O'Steven train, shall we say, at that point of view. I bet you was trying to get past him quite a few laps, but obviously because of that battle going on, you lost out about 20 seconds would you say? About 20 seconds between
Yeah,
yourself
I have no idea. I think the guys in front at least could afford a pit stop. So, yeah, the battle for the positions ahead of Steven was pretty much gone when I got stuck as long as I did.
Yeah, absolutely. But from your point of view, this season here, Scope, did you... what was the main talking point from your side that cost you the Drivers' Championship this season? Where would you say, which track cost you the win, basically?
I don't know if I can say it cost me the win, because Sam has been great all season long. He definitely deserved the championship. But Belgium, the first cancelled race, I don't think Sam was there. And yeah, I would have at least 10 points there. And then at the rerun, I disconnected and couldn't get back in, and Samu won, so it's a pretty big swing in points there, but yeah, I don't think it would have been enough anyway, because Sam has been brilliant all season long.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, don't get me wrong, Scope. You had a great start, and I thought no one was going to catch you until Samu out of nowhere was just kept getting closer and closer as the season going on. But fair play to you two. You brought us some memorable moments there, especially at Singapore as well. Surely that's your best ever move, shall we say, this season?
Yeah, definitely. Singapore was a great memory. I'll carry it for a long time. So yeah, maybe just that race is worth racing this season. So
don't get me wrong, mate. I think that'll be one of the bestest ever highlights we've ever witnessed at Invictus Racing League as well. And myself and Tim were just gobsmacked to find out what's going to happen next after you and Samu was banning out there. We just did not know what to expect back, but that was one of your best ever performances from there as well. So fair play to you, Scope, for that. Well done for getting third place tonight. We're really unlucky for the Drivers' Championship, obviously. I wish you all the very best of luck, whatever happens next season, whether you're carrying on in the realistic performance or carrying on with the other leagues at Invictus. But whatever happens, thank you very much for joining this season. You've been an absolute legend as always.
yeah, thanks guys. You put a great commentary every week, so thanks for that too.
No worries. Thanks, Scope. Absolute legend you are, as always. For the final bit now, thank you to Roy Boy, Samu and Scope for their thoughts of the questions for the final time in the commentators box here. So they can stay if they want, or they can shoot off. It's up to them now. But for the final time, Tim, what's your thoughts of the race tonight? And also, what was your best race of the season in your eyes?
Well, I think that for the finale at Monaco, the final race of the Realistic Performance League this season, it could not have been a better race. It was magnificent. We had a late safety car, which really put a spanner into things. But nonetheless, Roy Boy was still able to hold off his competitors and cruise to a win that, honestly, I thought was not there with old tires. But as I said during the broadcast, I might very well be eating my words, and this is me eating my words. Roy Boy did it. Congratulations. A good race, though, by all drivers. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. Congratulations to the podium finishers. And Monaco, it's not my best race this season. It's got to be second or third. But my favorite race, the top race, was definitely Singapore. No question about it. It was intense. It was a wild race, a surprise winner. Scope is more than capable of winning, but we just did not see that in the cards 2 laps before the finish. So Singapore was definitely an amazing race. Anyone still watching, if you have not seen the Realistic Performance League race this season from Singapore, go ahead and watch it. It was amazing.
Absolutely, as well. Like I said, that would be my best race of the season, Singapore, as well. And it's tough to pick all the other races as well, because you're never going to see a grandstand finish like that for a very long time as well. And considering that it was the 2 drivers who were battling out for the Drivers' Championship as well, that would made it even more special as well. So yeah, some fantastic stuff there as well. But Tim, have you got any final thoughts for the last bit of the season?
I just want to say that it has been an honor to work with you all season, Malc. We've been working together for about a year, and it's always fun to hop in here and call these races. We have a good time. We get to sit back. No matter what's going on in the world, we get to sit back, have a little bit of fun, watch a race, commentate a race, and help entertain the viewers of the Invictus Racing League's channel. So it was just a good season, magnificent season, and I look forward to another one.
Absolutely. And same to you, Tim. Thank you for joining me during the commentators box and enjoying a thrill of like a roller coaster ride of watching who's going to try and win the Realist Performance League this season. And it was one hell of a race. And thank you for everything that you've done, and also Tim as well. Thank you very much for that. I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone that's watched the stream for the final time, and I'll say this for the final time of this season here. Please make sure you subscribe to the Invictus Racing League channel for all the live races here. Tomorrow night we've got the F2 and F3 League of Energy Dan and James doing the F2, and Harry and Charlie for F3 as well. This was our last race of the season here as well. And I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone, all the admins, for everything they have done so far this season. Like I said, all the commentators, everyone that is associated with the Invictus Racing League. But the most important thing of all is the drivers. The drivers make it happen to make it so special on the leagues here as well. So thank you very much for that, guys. Nightshade says big up on the commentary. Thank you very much, mate, as well. So this was the Invictus Racing League, the Realist Performance League, live and exclusive on the Tuesday nights. We'll go back into a brand new season in the F1 2020, which is in a month's time there. So don't go anywhere, guys. Me and Tim will be back in the Realist Performance League commentators box. Don't miss on that on there as well. See you again, guys. Take care of yourselves. See you in a month's time. Try a bit. Bye-bye.